The pieces are falling into place to have this resurge in popularity. Hey guys, Jordan Needham. Welcome to this episode of Shredhead. Today, the topic is Metalcore is back. I know what you're thinking, like it never went away, and I get that. But what I'm really getting at is that I think in the next year and a half, maybe 2 years, there's gonna be a resurgence in popularity of metalcore, kind of back to the day where it was at its peak. So I think we're heading for peak number 2 in metalcore. Why did that rhyme? This is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. The reason that I really think this is because over time, we've lost a few key contributors to the metalcore scene, and I think that kind of contributed to the decline in popularity of the scene, and in particular bands like Bullet for My Valentine, Asking Alexandria, even Avenged Sevenfold, and then Bring Me the Horizon, when they're back, right? They're back, but they did have a couple of albums where it was like, not metalcore, which is fine. I'm not here to dog on that type of music. I actually like Bring Me the Horizon and pretty much all their records. But I don't think it necessarily did great for the metalcore scene. Motionless in White is another one that kind of went towards the arena rock kind of scene. But now, I'm seeing something different. Not that kind of different. Now with the return of bands like Memphis, Mayfire, and even Motionless in White, their new single is pretty heavy. And then we're starting to see maybe that Asking Alexandria might be going back in that direction with their new single Alone Again, but it's still not really what I want. Bring Me the Horizon, we've seen some nasty breakdowns from them recently as well. So we're starting to see some of the highlight bands of the last peak of metalcore come back to the scene, which is obviously huge. But not only that, we have some newcomers too. This is where I think it's really important, because you gotta have new things as well. You can't just have the old bands, because then it's more just like people are in it for nostalgia, not really because it's new. But this is new. We got people like Courtney LaPlante. Oh, it's LaPlante, isn't it? Really changing the game. Spiritbox is just, oh man, I love Spiritbox so much, and I'm really looking forward to their new album. Yeah, well, apparently not enough to learn how to say Courtney's last name, but okay, dumbass. I'm sorry, Courtney. In particular, the way that Rise Records has handled Spiritbox and Memphis Mayfire, I think that says it all. They noticed that one of the things that the hip-hop industry does really well, and I think this helps a ton in their popularity, is features. So what have they been doing? But also, at the same time, we're bringing back Memphis Mayfire to the forefront of our record company. It just looks like it's playing out perfectly, in my opinion. Now, I really think the key contributor to this entire thing is actually that pop punk has came back. Obviously, things like MGK and a little bit of Olivia Rodrigo kind of bringing back the drums and the guitar. It's weird that we call that pop punk. This is where we're at these days, but you can't deny it, right? There's at least it's more pop punk than like Ariana Grande. When stuff like that has been becoming more and more mainstream, I do think it creates this sort of filter. Most people, they start hearing MGK or some pop punk and they go, you know what? I actually kind of like this. Then eventually, maybe they stumble across like Chunk No Captain Chunk and they're like, okay, I kind of like easycore. And then I would say it goes into metalcore. I really like Crown the Empire. I really like Memphis Mayfire. God damn. Or Spiritbox. And then after that, some of them may go, I don't know, Kublai Khan, Knocked Loose. And then eventually it goes to Shadow of Intent and Lorna Shore to the Hellfire. But most people don't make it there. You see what I'm saying? So we lose most people at pop punk. Then it goes to easycore. We have a drop off there. And then probably even a steeper drop off at metalcore, and then hardcore and deathcore. That's my opinion. But I believe the most important thing about all of this is that bands take advantage of this moment. Follow the trend. You know, pop punk is coming back. We've seen that Chunk No Captain Chunk is out there making new music again, which is awesome. Easycore is coming back strong. We had 4 Year Strong come out with an album in 2020. Those are just a couple of highlights. What could have been huge for the scene, the metal scene as a whole, not just easycore, but metalcore and so on, was ADTR, A Day to Remember's new album. Just really
Trying to read your language is
It missed.
like a map where the axis ain't quicksand.
You know, let 5 Sauce do this. You know, like 5 Sauce doesn't do breakdowns, and you don't do 5 Sauce, right? Like, it's not bad. It's not. It's just nothing like this.
You act like you don't move like a snake. Setting lies door to door. Every inch of you screams are fake.
Oh, I paused it! Shit!
Every inch of you screams are fake.
There was a couple of pretty good songs, but it wasn't really easy core. I think if that was like good old modern sort of easy core as Chunk No Captain Chunk did, I think that would have done an immense amount of good for the scene. Unfortunately, we missed a mark there, but let's not count them out. I mean, they're still a band, right? So they could still come out with something that could drive the scene a little more forward, but I think that was a big swing and a miss for the scene, and I don't think it helped very much. Now, I know this was really quick, and I didn't mention every band out there. I never could, and I never will, right? It's impossible. So I know I missed bands, and I should have said this more and should have talked about blah 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 more. I get it. But the point of this video wasn't really to highlight certain bands, but more to highlight the scene and how I think it's starting to come back and could potentially resurge. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree, but let's definitely have a discussion in those comments below. Another plane. That's what happens when you live by an airport. Don't do it. But let's definitely have a discussion in those comments below. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Let's take us to 1,000 subs. We're so close. And as always, I really appreciate every single one of you. I'm Jordan Needham. This has been Shredheads on J-Ham Entertainment, and I will catch you next time.
So close your eyes.